Hello students, in last class I have told about tissues. And what are these tissues? Means these will be like this group of cells, and they will be present in the all multicellular organisms. And in the last class I have told you about the meristematic tissues. Means those are tissues which are present in the plants, and they are only meant for the growth of the plants. For example, increase in the height and increasing in the width of the plant, and also in performing some of the activities in the plants, like increasing in the branches and roots, and also stem, leaves. Okay, means those group of cells which are mainly involved in the growth of the plant. For example, increasing in the height, width and the girth, and also formation of the branches. And today we will be studying about the permanent tissues. These are the another type of plant tissues only, which are meant for performing different activities in the plants. And these are the tissues which are found in the different parts of the plants, and these are specialized for different functions, like storage of food materials, and providing protection to the plants, and also exchange of oxygen as well as carbon dioxide. And also these group of cells, they are present in a different parts of the plant, and these are mainly specialized in the functions. And all these you are seeing, these are the type of permanent tissues only. Means these are the plant tissues only, and these meristematic tissue, what I had told, no, which are present in the tip position of the roots and stem and internode part and the base of the plant. Those only, they will be undergoing some of the specialized changes in their shapes and size, and they are meant for performing different functions, like storage of food materials, and for photosynthesis purpose, and for respiration purpose. So likewise, okay, so that meristematic tissues, whatever they will undergo changes in their structures, and that process in which meristematic tissues will undergo changes in their cells shape and cells size, that process we call as differentiation. Understood? Differentiation means what? It is a process of undergoing changes in the shape and sizes of the meristematic cells that undergo permanent changes in their structure, and that process we call as differentiation. Okay, and those tissues which undergo these differentiation process, and they will attain systematic shape and sizes for performing specialized functions in the plant, that group of cells we call as permanent tissues. These are the second type of plant tissues only. Okay, in that first there are again two types. First one is simple permanent tissue, and second one is complex permanent tissue. Okay, in that first one, simple permanent tissue. Why these are called a simple permanent tissue? Because these group of cells, these are made up of only one single type of cells, and these group of single type of cells which undergo specialized functions in the plant, they are again divided into four types. What are those? These simple permanent tissue, these are made up of only one single type of cells. Okay, in that there are again four types. What are those? First one is called parenchyma, second one is called as collenchyma, third one is called as sclerenchyma, and fourth one is called as protective tissues. Okay, in that permanent tissue, first one simple permanent tissue, which are made up of only one type of cells, those are again four types. Clear? In that first type I will be explaining now. Okay, first type is called as parenchyma tissue. Okay, in that what happens? There are these cells, these are oval in shape, and they have a loosely arranged structures. Loosely arranged means after these cells will be forming one layer, means one group. In that, in between these cells, there will be some space will be there. So these simple permanent tissue, in that parenchyma tissue, these are oval shaped cells, group of cells which are having a spaces in between the cells. Means cells are loosely arranged, and in these spaces they will be filled with air, or they will be filled with some of the coloring materials. Okay, and these are meant for providing protection to the plants, parenchyma cells. Okay, and these spaces, whatever you are seeing now, free space, is called as intercellular space. Okay, intercellular space, clear? And depending on the in these spaces what the cells will be stored, depending on that, parenchyma are of two types. One, the cells which are in these spaces, if there is a chlorophyll pigment is present in that group of cells of parenchyma, those are called as parenchyma tissue. Their main function is to provide chlorophyll to the plant for preparing food. Okay, and these are also meant for storage of food also. Two functions it will perform, parenchyma. In that, first one is parenchyma, means it is having chlorophyll. In this space chlorophyll pigment is present, that will help the plant to prepare the food, and also it will help in storage of food material. Second type of parenchyma is parenchyma, means in these spaces air will be filled, and these parenchyma, which is a type of first one, parenchyma tissue, that is meant for providing buoyancy to the plants, means it is found in the aquatic plants, and it will help the plant to float over the water surface. Okay, understood? In the first type of simple permanent tissue, that is parenchyma, depending on the in the free space, in the intercellular space, if the chlorophyll is present, then that parenchyma tissue is called as parenchyma, which is meant for photosynthesis purpose. First one, understood? In this only, if this air, if the intercellular space is filled with air, then that tissue we call as parenchyma. Okay, parenchyma means it is filled with, the cells, group of cells is filled with air, and it is found in the aquatic plants, and it will provide buoyancy. It will help the plant to float over the water surface. Understood? This is about the parenchyma tissue, first type of simple permanent tissue. Next one is parenchyma. It is the second type of a simple permanent tissue. In that, the cells are having a irregular structure, and these are tightly packed, and there is no air space or any free space in between the cells. Okay, and in between the cells there is no little of the space also. There is no intercellular space, and the cells are irregular, and they are having chemicals in between the cells, and these having wall thickness, means these chemicals will be stored in that in between the cells of the cell wall, and here in between of the cell, in the center of the position, vacuole will be present, and the main function of this parenchyma is it will provide the plant to move without breaking. It will help the plant, flexible movement of the plant. It will help the plant to move without any, it will bend but it will not break, means that it is due to the wall thickness. Okay, the main function of parenchyma is to provide plant to flexible movement, and also it will help in the providing mechanical support to the plant. Understood second one? Now let's move on to third one, that is sclerenchyma tissue. Sclerenchyma tissue, as the name only suggests, this tissue, these are having the cells which are having more amount of chemical deposition in between the cells, and it is having a very thick walls, cell wall, and here the cells of this tissue are dead. They are not in a living condition. They will not help in photosynthesis process, and they will not help in providing any kind of nutrients to the cell, and they will not provide any kind of a living activity inside the plants. So this sclerenchyma tissue is also called as dead tissue. Okay, and these cells are having a more amount of chemical deposition of lignin, which will help the plant to protection purpose, and also it will help the plants to grow in a very hard and stiff manner, and it will also help the plants to be strong and hard and stiff. And these are also found in the vascular bundles, in the xylem and phloem, and also in the veins of the leaves, and in the fruits and nuts, the sclerenchyma tissue. And it is mainly present in the hard part of the fruits. Example, in coconut, outer covering of the coconut, that husk we call, in that the tissue which is present is called as sclerenchyma tissue. This is present in the hard part of the plant, fruits and nuts, vascular bundles and veins of the leaf. And the cells of this tissue are dead, but the cells of a parenchyma and collenchyma are alive, means they will perform all activities in the plants like photosynthesis, storage of food, providing movement of the plant. Okay, so these cells are alive. The cells of sclerenchyma are dead. Understood up till this third one. Next we will move on to fourth type of simple permanent tissue, which we call as protective tissue. As the name only suggests, protective means these cells of this tissue will provide protection to the plants, and also they will help the plant to tolerate any kind of environment conditions. Okay, and these protective tissues are again two types. First one is epidermal cells, second one is cork cells. First one, epidermal cells, as the name only suggests, first one, protection means it is found in the outer part of the plant, and these will provide protection to the plant, and these cells are consisting of a single layer of elongated or rectangular shaped cells. In between these cells there are bean shaped cells called guard cells. Bean shaped cells called guard cells, which will help the plant to remove excess of water and exchange of oxygen as well as carbon dioxide. These epidermal cells, in case of desert plants, what they do, they store some kind of a chemical. That chemical called cutin. It will help the plant to during transpiration. In desert areas they need more amount of water, no? So in that case what happens, these epidermal cells, they will secrete a waxy covering over them. That waxy covering, it is consisting of a chemical called cutin. It will help in the loss of water, that is during transpiration process. That will help the plants to control the loss of water. And also these epidermal cells, they will protect the cells of the leaf, stem as well as roots. These are distributed throughout the plant. They are not present only in leaf, only in root and only in stem. They are present throughout the plant. The main function is providing protection. First one, epidermal cells, and also exchange of oxygen as well as carbon dioxide, and also third one, transpiration, that is removal of excess of water. Epidermal cells has three functions: protection, exchange of oxygen as well as carbon dioxide by the help of stomata cells or guard cells. Third one, removal of excess of water. Next, move on to cork cells. These are another type of protective cells or protective tissues, and these are also present in the outer part of the plant. They are mainly found in the hard part of the plant body, that is in the bark of tree, in the wooden part of the plant. These cells are found. The main function of cork cells is to provide protection against germs, a loss of water, and also any kind of dry conditions. In that condition, it will protect the plant from without getting any kind of a damage. So the main function of these two are protection only. But these epidermal cells, they also help in providing stiffness to the plant by forming a outer covering to the other protective layer, in the form of protective layer to the plants. And these cells of cork are dead, means they are not helping the plant in any kind of a in any kind of active part of the plant. They only meant for providing protection. Understood? These are the 4 types of simple permanent tissue. And in the next class you will be learning about the second type of permanent tissue, that is complex permanent tissue. And these are the plant tissues only. Second type of plant tissue, permanent tissue. In that first one, simple permanent tissue, these 4 types you have learnt now, up till now. In the next class you will be learning about the complex permanent tissues. Okay.